more a month. Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number M332088, case of style state of Texas versus Jalen Paul Gasper. Mr. Gasper, is that your full name? Mr. Gasper, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Gasper, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Gasper, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Gasper? That's good. Mr. Gasper, you're here represented by your attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Mr. Adams, do you waive a record in Mr. Gasper's case?
Yes.
Mr. Gasper, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about November 27th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Gasper, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Gasper, how do you plead guilty? Not guilty or no contest?
No.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes.
Mr. Gasper, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, which is also labeled State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of the same document, there's this set of initials on a line that's titled no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the document, above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature? On the next page, on the next document, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Oh, yes.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Now, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did you read the documents? Is there anything, now, is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gasper, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit, Mr. Gasper. Well, State, do you offer State's exhibits? Would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Any objections?
No, sir.
No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Adams, you advised and counseled Mr. Gasper. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Mr. Gasper, your attorney, Mr. Adams, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Gasper, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I'll also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The state will plead guilty, no contest, to agree to offer 1 year deferred adjudication, community supervision, a $500 fine and court cost, 80 hours community-based service, interlock device, and standard DWI terms and conditions. Like I said before, this is direct concurrent with his felony probation.
Okay.
It's also a deferred adjudication.
Okay. And Mr. Adams, is that this correct plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Gasper, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this 1 year deferred adjudication, let me do this here now, now this offense occurred
21.
11/21, so that was after the September 1 of 2019.
Yes, sir.
And his he had a breath
Below.
test below
It was
0.15,
0.11.
0.11, okay. And do you have a regular driver's license or do you have a commercial driver's license? Regular driver's license, okay. So he meet the eligibility requirements for deferred adjudication. Let me calculate this right quick. It must be 467. For it's 780. Okay, and you code appointed, right? Okay. Yes, 15. Okay, let me do this. Let's see. Let's get. Okay. So, 6. Okay, now, Mr. Gasper, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500. You'll be required to pay a court cost of $467. You'll be required to pay attorney's fees of $250. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, based on these calculations, is $210. However, you will not be required to pay the $60 probation fee and the $15 urinalysis fee because you are currently on probation. And so that's going to reduce your fee by $75. So the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month is $135 a month. Will you be able to pay the $135 each month?
Yes.
Okay. And you'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service and install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You're required to attend and complete a DWI education class. You'll be required to have a drug and alcohol assessment, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Do you understand that? Now, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Gasper, I'll follow the people who are in agreement that you entered into with the state. You're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of the clerk. Once you're finished following her directions, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Adams, you'll be free to go as well. And you have a blessed day.
I'm
Yes.
ready to go on.